Shadow Dragonite gets a nice energy lead. Show me something in the back we can one-shot. Wallface, one of the bulkiest mon in the league versus a Dragonflyer. Well, guess what? Season 12 gave us superpower, and that's going to be all she wrote. So, welcome back to the home of Shadow Pokemon. Season 12 is here, and I am very excited because we have had the biggest move update we have ever seen in Pokemon Go PvP, and for a change there have been numerous Shadow Pokemon buffed, and throughout the season I'm going to do my best to showcase as many as possible. We finally got a Fairy fast move that isn't Charm, so fairies should be everywhere, so naturally I'm going to run Double Dragon because why not? We're actually using a Fairy as well, but today we aren't using the new Fairy Wind, we're using Fire Fang, and that is because if you look at this team, we are super weak to Steel and Ice and obviously Charm, so Mawile really needs that Fire Fang. I will be showcasing the Fairy Wind variant at some point, but today we're going with a pretty ABB strat. The idea of the team is to use Dragonair to draw out the hardest answer to a dragon and hope that Superpower Dragonite, the new move, can close game strong. And in game one, you can see our strategy has worked fantastically. This team was super weak to Mawile, they say, which into Skarmory. I bought in Dragonair, committed to the Dragon Breath farm down, and we got a shield back with the double body slam on the Togekiss. Body slam is the new move for Dragonair, and they have got Metal in the back. This opponent was triple weak to Mawile, and Mawile is going to do Mawile things, absolutely sweeping this team, and we're going to be off to a 1-0 start. GG's and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, we see Lucario in the lead. You absolutely love to see it. The opponent is staying in as we're on an ABB team. I'm going to look to catch the power-up punch on Dragonair, saving Mawile for whatever they have in the back. And it looks like this opponent doesn't really have an answer for a dragon. They come in to a Raichu using Thundershock. Thundershock is resisted due to our dragon typing. We get a shield with the Aqua Tail. They go for the Psychic, take us out. But at this stage now, we can come in with Dragonite and commit to the farm down. They didn't have a dragon counter originally. Let's see what they have in the back, and it is a knockdown, so not a bad situation to be in. Dragon Breath absolutely shredding. The opponent doesn't want to commit the final shield, just one Dragon Claw, and the Dragon Breath has got this knockdown super low, and knockdown is one of the bulkiest mon in the league. But let's not kid ourselves, Dragonite doesn't care. They switch out into Lucario and we farm down. Moving on to the next one. We see the Mighty Blue Mouse in the lead. These are my first battles. This is rank 1 and we have an Azumarill on the screen. We are triple weak to Azu, but we don't care. We tank the play rough. We fire her play rough of our own, and the opponent does shield. We are triple weak to Azu, but as we have shield advantage, I'm going to switch out into Dragonair. The body slam coverage is really nice here. I typically run Dragonair before an Aqua Tail Dragon Pulse, so everything would be resisted. You can see body slam is a decent move, and this opponent has already two shielded the Donny. Do they know we're triple weak, or are they one of them really annoying players that just two shields the bulkiest mon? But either way, Dragonair with body slam is going to get the job done. We are going to have to commit a shield here. I am counting bubbles just before they get to the next play rough. I am going to take them out with a body slam. We now have no shields for Dragonite. Not a great situation to be in. They come in to a Galarian Stunfisk. I am going to fire off the Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail will hit for super effective. We get this thing into the yellow. The opponent is going to have to Earthquake to take us out, and that is exactly the play the opponent goes for. Can we farm down with Mawile? No, we cannot. 1 HP and a dream. We are going to get taken out. It's going to be Dragonite in the zeros, one of the squishiest mon in the league. What do they have in the back? Oh, hello, Mr. Wallface. Guess what? Season 12 gave us superpower. Hi, Wallface. Bye, Wallface. Get fucking wrecked. GG's and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, we see Trevenant in the lead. One of the Pokemon that we are pretty good against with the entirety of our team. They save switch into Galarian Stunfisk. Mawile is our best response. However, I do need to switch out at some point. I'm looking to catch an Earthquake on Dragonair, but of course, as I'm using a Shadow Mawile, the opponent goes for the bait, and that might just cost them. We're still not in Rock Slide range. The opponent goes for another Rock Slide, and that is going to cost them. Dragonair now will win the zero shield unless they shield. The opponent does choose to shield it up, but I'm pretty happy with shield advantage. We come in to Mawile. This is just a Rock Slide. We are going to tank it on the chin. We are going to Fire Fang down. What does the opponent have? In the back, it's Lanson. We're up shields. No baiting. On this channel, we go straight for the Play Rough. Play Rough lands for huge damage. We now switch out into Dragonite. We are going to respect the potential Thunderbolt. The opponent does go for the Thunderbolt. We are going to look to farm down. The opponent switches out into Trevenant. That, my good friend, is a Seed Bomb. No respect shown. Dragonite is now at the back-to-back Dragon Claws. One Dragon Claw is going to draw the final shield from the opponent, and this Dragon Claw is going to be enough to take him out, and that's going to be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, we see another Azumarill in the lead. They say switch into Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz isn't a great response for Mawile, but I am going to take this opportunity to switch into one of the dragons. We tank the Dark Pulse or Foul Play. I won't really pay that much attention, but either way, we tank it, and the Dragon Breaths are starting to shred through this thing. We're just going to use Dragonair as a damage sponge, as believe it or not, this thing is the bulkiest on the team, and it has absolutely zero bulk. We're now going to come in with Mawile. We're going to take this opportunity to build up towards the Play Rough, so we can at least threaten that Azumarill when it should return. We do commit to the Fire Fang down. What does the opponent come in with? And they've got a Wobbuffet. Holy crap, this is not looking good. So we have probably the squishiest team ever in existence. The opponent has probably the bulkiest team in existence. We fire off the boosted Play Rough, and that does big damage. We're looking to farm down with Dragonite now. We are resisting counter. The opponent baits us with a Mirror Coat. Can we Dragon Breath down before they make another move? Unfortunately, we cannot. I am going to have to shield this up, as even though we do resist bubbles, we would get bubbled down. We are going to have to bait with a Dragon Claw. Superpower is the play to go for here. The opponent does shield the first one. I am going to fire off one more Dragon Claw because I haven't got my switch timer up just yet. We are going to fire off the Superpower when it does pop up. I am going to have to commit my final shield here. Let's see if Superpower does a respectable amount. It is resisted, but Dragonite has a high attack stat. We fire off the Superpower, and the opponent shields again. We switch out into Mawile. We are going to get taken out. This game looks essentially over. I highly doubt that Superpower can one-shot. We are going to throw it on a CMP tie. Do we get the miracle one-shot? No, we don't. GG's to that opponent. Moving on to the next one, we see that Bear Trap in the lead. This opponent is once again staying in. However, they fire off a Rock Slide. Mawile showing zero respect. Rock Slide is resisted, but it still gets us down to almost half HP. We fire off the Power Up Punch, and the opponent has shielded, so we are going to catch the second Rock Slide on Dragonair. Let's see what the opponent does come in with. It looks like they are staying in. We can now one shield and farm them all the way down, even though they've got a fairy in the back. We can hit for neutral. With Body Slam, we do get a nice farm down. What does the opponent come in with? It looks like it is the big tin can, so we are going to fire off Aqua Tail. After Aqua Tail, Dragon Breath is resisted, but it's an absolutely busted one-turn move. It is going to start adding up on this tin can. Two non-stop Aqua Tails and the Dragon Breath have got this thing down to around half HP. We are going to get taken out with a Focus Blast. We come back in to Mawile, and it is Altaria in the back. We switch out into Dragonite. We are going to be able to get the opponent's final shield here. We are going to fire off the Dragon Claw. The opponent has to shield, really, as Registeel applies no fast move pressure. The opponent does manage to farm down. They're not quite at the Sky Attack, so we're going to boost our attack. With the resisted Fire Fangs, we get the farm down, and you already know that tin can in the back is absolutely fucked. Power Up Punch is going to hit for super effective, and the Fire Fangs are going to take it out. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, absolutely dreadful. We see Talonflame in the lead. They say switch to Defense Deoxys. Once again, not fantastic. However, you can see Dragon Breath absolutely tearing through the opponent. We get stabbed. The counters are also hurting. However, they aren't getting stabbed. We fire off the Body Slam. That draws a shield from the opponent. We're already at Body Slam number 2. The opponent really wants to keep that Talonflame on our Mawile, and I really don't want that to happen. So we shield up the next Rock Slide. Dragonair manages to farm down. Absolutely monstrous in the 2 shield, and it's Azumarill in the back. Things are looking really terrible. We haven't got an answer for Azu, but it is what it is. We're running Spice. We're going to try and outplay these basic bitches. 2 Body Slams gets it into the yellow. I'm really hoping the opponent isn't on Hydro Pump. We're about to find out. They did build up to 7. We have no shields, and we get pumped to the face. We now switch out into Dragonite. The opponent makes a great swap catching the Dragonclaw on Talonflame. The win con for us is going to be to leave with a superpower. We go for the undercharge, and the Talonflame survives just about. You hate to see it. We aren't going to be able to win this battle. We do Fire Fang down, but one bubble is going to take us out. So if you're wondering about that play, we would win CMP. Dragonclaw wouldn't be enough to take him out, so I had to go for a sneaky undercharge, hoping to leave with the superpower. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the job done. Moving on to the next one. We see another dreadful lead. Swampert into Mawile. Pretty much the worst matchup you can see. We save switch into Dragonair. The opponent switches out really late into Registeel. We are going to allow our Dragonair to go down. I was really hoping they baited with a Zap Cannon, but the opponent far too smart for that. We do manage to get a nice Fire Fang down, but unfortunately this Swampert leaves with a boatload of energy. Mawile is pretty much dead weight. We tank the Hydro Cannon, come in with Dragonite. The opponent has enough for the Sludge Wave. We are going to shield it up. They are staying in. Hopefully they're weak to Dragonite in the back, and it is Venusaur. Is Dragonite about to go off? You're about to find out. Dragonclaw will be getting the first shield from the opponent when my game stops lagging. They're building up to the Sludge Bomb. I am going to shield up. If they do Sludge Bomb, this game should be over. That's exactly what they go for. I am counting. This is just a Frenzy Plant. Dragonite, double resist grass. We tank that on the chin, and we should be able to Dragon Breath down the remainder of the team. And that is a good game. Moving on to the next one. We see Altaria in the lead. We're pretty good against Altaria with Mawile, but obviously we've got two dragons in the back, so I save switch into Dragonair. The opponent is staying in, so we're just going to sack the Dragonair. It looks like they haven't got a Charmer or an Ice type in the back. If they did, they probably should have brought it in, but this is the early ranks, so who knows what opponents are doing. We come in, commit to the Dragon Breath farm down, hoping they don't have an answer for dragons as they stayed in. They do have Galarian Stunfisk, and fuck it, I'm throwing the Hail Mary. The opponent calls the bait, and on this channel, you already know there's no baits. We almost one-shot Galarian Stunfisk. We can now one shield and farm down, and it is Scrafty in the back. I am going to switch out into Mawile to reset my debuff, and this game should be over. The opponent is going for the power-up punch to boost their attack. We're going to fire a power-up punch in return. The opponent is going to farm down. All we need to do is correctly shield up a foul play. I am going to call the foul play here. We shield it up, and it should be a Dragon Breath finish. And once again, Dragonite just farms down everything. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, we see another Bear Trap in the lead. We've seen one of the biggest move updates ever, and everyone's using the same basic shit. You love to see it. Once again, we look to catch the Rock Slide on our Dragonair. The opponent now answers us with a Trevenant. We're going to spam off Aqua Tail after Aqua Tail. The opponent manages to farm us all the way down. I've got a decision to make here. They're absolutely loaded. We're going to call the Seed Bomb. Come on, Mr. Opponent. I dare you to Shadow Ball me. I did not think so. The tree is going to be very sad because once again, this is just the Seed Bombs. Even though they got the complete farm down that energy essentially does absolutely nothing. I am going to shield up Dragonite. We're going to shield up the Rock Slide. Switch out into Mawile. And it is Defense Deoxys in the back. We've got enough for the Play Rough. The opponent shields it up. We're going to commit to the Play Rough. Force the opponent to throw. And we get a whole boatload of lag. Fuck my life. Great game, Niantic. I'm glad you fixed it. We are counting just before they get to the next Psycho Boost. We're going to take them out with a Dragon Claw. It's going to be a race. Can they get to 2 moves before us? It looks like the answer is going to be yes. I believe the opponent has got the back-to-back. We're about to find out. First one gets our shield, and the second one takes us out. GG's to that opponent. Moving on to the next one, we see another Altaria in the lead. Instant swap to Dragonair. We do outpace to the Body Slam. Does the opponent want to shield it up? Yes, they do. It looks like they are committing to the Dragon Breath farm down. They are now super low. We are going to have to tank a move. Mawile does resist everything, so I'm going to come in with Mawile, commit to the no shield, and you are going to see I'm going to be very sad with that decision because despite them staying in to this matchup, they have a Charmer in the back. Why did you stay in? I have no idea, but they even shield up the power-up punch, maybe calling that we're running double dragon. You can see we get farmed all the way down, and I want absolutely none of that work and concede the match. Moving on to the next one. We see Shadow Vic in the lead. The opponent immediately save switch into Wallface, and I am just going to stay in as both our dragons do pretty good. Against Vic, you can see Fire Fang starting to tear through this Bastion. I am going to respect a potential flamethrower. We are going to fire off one more power-up punch, we're going to get Mawile absolutely boosted. We are down shields, but Mawile is boosted. What is that third Pokemon? There's no chance Victreebel comes back in, and they have a Politoed. We are going to switch out into Dragonair. We are going to spam off a Body Slam. We're going to force the opponent to Blizzard us. If they're running it, you can see the Dragon Breath have got it down to around half HP. The opponent actually is on Blizzard, but we're sitting in a pretty good spot now. The opponent is Energy Dry. We come in with Dragonite. The opponent brings in the Vic. We are going to spam off a Dragon Claw. The opponent doesn't shield, and that is going to cost them, as Dragonite once again is going to farm down everything. Moving on to the next one, we see Talonflame in the lead. Absolutely dreadful. However, the opponent does Safe Switch into a Venusaur. Dragonair should be able to flip switch here. Body Slam goes unshielded. The opponent has enough for a Sludge Bomb, so I am going to shield it up. The opponent baits me with a Frenzy Plant, but either way, Dragonair manages to farm all the way down, and we have a lot of residual energy. Good to go. It is Trevenant in the backs. The opponent is running Talonflame. Double Grass. The opponent shields up the first Aqua Tail. We're going to spam out Aqua Tail number 2. It looks like the opponent is looking to Shadow Claw us all the way down. The opponent is absolutely loaded. I'm going to come in with Mawile. I've got no intention of shielding up anything. The opponent throws the Shadow Ball. We tank it, switch out into Dragonite. The opponent is probably only going to make one Brave Bird. Even if they bait me, they aren't going to make Brave Bird number 2, so we shield the first one. This is just a Flame Charge. Dragonite doesn't care. We survive. We farm all the way down, and we're going to farm that tree down as well. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next one. We see another Altaria in the lead. We Safe Switch into Dragonair, and we draw out a Granbull. Body Slam is really nice coverage here. You can see Dragonair versus Shadow Granbull is really close in the Zero Shield. This now means we can come back in with Mawile. We can Fire Fang down without having to shield. Back out comes Altaria. We aren't going to shield this up. We are going to go straight for the Hail Mary. Does the opponent respect the damage of the Play Rough? Big Play Rough coming through. High Altaria, bye Altaria. It's Metachan in the back. Ice Punch would hit for double super effective. But if you haven't realised yet, in this video, Shadow Dragonite just absolutely shreds through absolutely everything. I've got no intention of throwing anything. We're just going to double shield, farm down this XL Metachan and return it to its Pokeball. GG's, Mr. Opponent. Moving on to the next battle, see Nidoqueen in the lead. We do have to be mindful of the Earth Power. This opponent is going straight for a Poison Fang. We might be part Fairy, but still double resist Poison, so that is single resisted. The opponent is staying in. We are going to shield up this Poison Fang. Can we farm all the way down? Yes, we can. Dragonair leaves with a whole boatload of residual energy, and we are going to start spamming out these Aqua Tails. Aqua Tail draws a shield from Wallface. We are going to make one more Aqua Tail. I don't really know why the opponent shielded. Aqua Tail does hit for super effective. You can see it doesn't do a whole boatload of damage, but either way, we've got our shield back. We now come in with the Mawile. We're going straight for this power-up punch, and the opponent shields once again. I've no idea why you'd shield a power-up punch. It is double super effective, but does pretty much nothing. We are going to spam out another power-up punch. Let's get this Mawile vamped up. The opponent obviously can't shield, and that is probably why they were panicking. They had Venusaur in the back. Are we about to see a Mawile sweep? Possibly not, so we switch out and look to snipe with Dragonite. And that will just about do it for this video. So you can see the double dragons was really fun. This team doesn't have a great deal of coverage, but you can see even against the most basic pitch teams that we apparently didn't have an answer for, we either picked up the dub or made it super close. So if you enjoy the content, smash that like button, post in the comment section down below which new Shadow Pokemon you want to see. It don't even have to be new, just name a Shadow Pokemon. I've now got a little bit of Stardust, so I'll power it up and I'll put it to work. So I'd like to take the opportunity to wish everyone good luck in Season 12. The seasons are really long, so if it's not going particularly well for you in the early ranks, don't worry. It's a long season to hit your goal. I'd just like to say thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.